Court is on the record in State of Ohio versus Marissa Mucciaroni. Case numbers 25 CRA 166 and 25 CRB 167. On May 28, 2025, Ms. Mucciaroni pled not guilty to one count of aggravated possession of drugs, a fifth-degree felony, and one count of attempted aggravated possession of drugs, a first-degree misdemeanor. In these cases, respectively, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Your Honor. The offer that's been extended to Ms. Mucciaroni would be to dismiss the felony charge at her cost. With that dismissal, the offer would be to plead to the attempted aggravated possession of drugs, with the State of Ohio recommending probation.
Mr. Syed?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I had some extensive talks with my client, went over, the possible outcomes of today and for the future. At this time, she just told me she wants to get it done and over with. She wants to continue to be in the renewal court. She wants to graduate. So at this time, she's accepting the offer from the law director. All I ask is that we just be heard on the sentencing.
Okay, Ms. Mucciaroni, it's my understanding today that you would change your original not guilty plea and plead guilty to one count of attempted aggravated possession of drugs, a first-degree misdemeanor, and 25 CRB 167. In exchange for that guilty plea, the felony drug charge would be dismissed at your cost, that being case number 25 CRA 166. Is that what you wish to see happen today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Syed, is there anything you or your client would like to say in mitigation of sentence?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly. I know all of us here were familiar with Marissa. I'm not as familiar with Marissa as the court is, but while I say I haven't been on the renewal court team long, I've always heard good things about her. Speaking with her today, true. I want to start with the facts that brought us here today and the matter of how it happened. The pill bottle in question, she watches over her nephew, her sister's son. Those pills in question all belong to the nephew. I've conveyed today what could have happened, what should have happened, what we could have done. If it were up to me, and ultimately it's not, it's my client's decision, if it were up to me, I would have ran the prelim, I would have had her sister here testify to that and put it on the matter. She's been in renewal court, she was set to graduate, she hasn't tested positive for anything in over a year. She's on the right track, and in my opinion, she's the best person on the renewal court program. From my opinion, at least. I believe the officer in question was fishing. He knows her, every officer here knows every person here. The warrant in question, there was a warrant out from a mistake from the clerks in the juvenile court. They have dealt with that matter. There should have never been a warrant out. They have dealt with that matter. Those pills, they weren't hardcore drug pills. They were pills prescribed to the nephew. Every one of those you can get a prescription from the pharmacy. That's why in my question, I wanted to run the prelim. I wanted to have it on the record. I wanted it to be testified. But Marissa here just wanted to get it done and over with. She wants to continue with her sobriety. She wants to continue in renewal court. She wants to graduate. She has been doing everything she has supposed to. She has been doing very, very good. I think at this time, I commend her and I applaud her for just getting it done and over with. It's sad that we're here today. It's sad that she just got a new charge. I don't think it's rightfully deserved, but ultimately those are the facts. She wasn't partying. She wasn't on hardcore substances. She was just watching her nephew like any other sibling would do. I don't have any, but if I did, I would watch them. So, at this time, I just asked for suspended time for the probation to run concurrent with her current probation. I asked that she continue to be in renewal court. She's been doing a great job. I know she's going to graduate, even though it's not estimated when now, even though it's supposed to be in August. But those were the facts that led up to the circumstances. It's an unfortunate situation. And Marissa just wanted to get it done and over with today. As mentioned on the record, and I'll say this, I wanted to run it, put it on the record, but she didn't want to do that. She wants to continue in remote course. She wants to continue sobriety, and she's been doing a great job. She gets drug tested more often than anyone else. She got drug tested this past Sunday. Negative, as always. Been like that for the last year. So this time I just asked that she receive suspended time, and then the probation just run concurrent with her current probation. That's all I really can add at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Mucciaroni, is there anything you would like to say before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mucciaroni was pulled over on March 22nd. Officers recognized her driving a vehicle and determined through a leads search that she had a warrant for her arrest. They pulled her over. They asked her if she had anything on her person that she shouldn't. She advised them that she had a pill bottle in her bra. One of the officers asked her what was in the pill bottle. She advised the officers that they were Vyvanse, which Ms. Mucciaroni does have a prescription for. The officers asked her if the bottle had her name on it. She said, I think so. They unhandcuffed her, allowed her to remove the bottle from her bra, and observed that the bottle, the name on the bottle, prescription bottle, was Liam Haley. The bottle contained 2 different kinds of pills, none of which were the medication on the prescription label. 3 of them were determined through drugs.com. They were identified through the numbers on the pills. They have a number on them. The officers go to a site called drugs.com and try to identify the pills. 3 of them were identified as Vyvanse, which Ms. Mucciaroni does have a prescription for. The other 17 pills were identified through drugs.com as amphetamine, a pill containing 5 milligrams of amphetamine and dextroamphetamine. Same Schedule II substance as methamphetamine, only available by prescription. I want to reiterate again that none of the pills in the bottle were what the prescription label on the bottle said was supposed to be in that bottle. None of them. Ms. Mucciaroni was arrested on her warrant. The pills were sent off to the drug lab for identification and also to determine the quantity of the amount of drugs that were present. The lab report came back that the pills contained dextroamphetamine and amphetamine, 2.04 grams in total of amphetamine, which is a Schedule II controlled substance. Thank you.
Words. My client doesn't have a prescription for Vyvanse. I've asked her, she does not.
They found an empty Vyvanse bottle in her vehicle.
Right, it could have been an old one, but she does not have a current prescription for it.
Well, then
But nonetheless, Your Honor, we're not stipulating to the drugs here. I understand there's a pill bottle, the prescription didn't match the bottles in the pill. As I mentioned previously, she was watching her nephew. Her sister didn't want to give her all those pills.
Are you saying the nephew had a prescription for amphetamines and dextroamphetamine?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but the pill bottle doesn't say that.
Right. She didn't want to put all those, she just needed a bottle to put those pills in for the time she was watching her nephew. That's all it was. Yeah, and then she did, after the fact, she went to the police station and she brought in the sheet of the prescriptions to the police station. Of course, it's not stated in the report. But all of it, as I mentioned, we can contest that everything happened. It's Marissa's doing today that she wants it to get it done and over with, showing her maturity. as mentioned, I would have loved to ran this prelim, but that is what happened. She was just being an aunt, watching her nephew, who was on these prescriptions. The officer from the very beginning was fishing for something, because he knows Marissa. The school, I know all the police officers know everyone here. But she was just being a good aunt. She was being a good sister. That's all it really was.
Okay, so hold on, Mr.
Yeah.
Sayed, come on. I mean, so you're condoning your client's actions by placing pills, Schedule II narcotics, in a bottle that doesn't contain that prescription.
Your Honor, it was just a bottle used to transport for the nephew.
Why would you need a bottle to transport?
She's
Why
watching
can't you
the
just
nephew.
Why can't you just use the bottle that the prescription
Because she didn't
came
want
in?
all the same pills in that bottle. He needed certain kinds of prescriptions.
Why would she mix her prescription with the
There
child?
was no prescriptions of hers in that pill.
There was
Well, I
Vyvanse.
guess you shouldn't have Vyvanse either.
Why was there Vyvanse in the bottle?
It's for the nephew, Your Honor.
Vyvanse is for the nephew as well?
Your Honor, I had.
So the child's got two separate prescriptions?
I believe he has I don't know the medical history of the child, but from my indication and my investigation, he has multiple prescriptions.
Well, you're ready to run the hearing today. Don't you know that? Do you know if the child has the two separate
He does have
prescriptions?
multiple prescriptions, Your Honor, yes. But nonetheless, Your Honor, it was a brief rebuttal. As I mentioned, it was Marissa's maturity that we got a resolution today. All I ask is just time be suspended and the probation went concurrent, and she stayed in renewal court. She's still doing a really great job in her sobriety. She has not tested positive for anything in over a year. She's doing really, really good. And it's all from renewal court and this court. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, I have to say that the way you handled this situation, Ms. Mucciarone, in placing a pill bottle with these kinds of drugs in a bottle without the correct prescription in your bra, seems kind of odd. And you may have an explanation for it. And your attorney may say, look, she's showing maturity here by entering a plea today. Yet, hear me out, Judge. Here's our defense. If you want to take ownership of this, true ownership of it, you wouldn't be making excuses. You are doing well in renewal court. You have been doing well. And, I think you've got an incredibly bright future ahead of you. You've had to deal with some pretty overwhelming circumstances of late. And I think everybody on the renewal court team is very happy with your progress and how you've been dealing with those circumstances. You're not a new mother, but you have an infant, and things have been you've been handling that situation really well. And then this happens. You could have exercised much better judgment. Assuming Mr. Sage everything that he says is true, which I'm not taking as true. Assuming everything he said is true, you could have exercised much better judgment. And I'm not sure if you are taking the same position as your attorney that the police are out to get me attitude. I'm sorry?
What'd you say?
I'm not sure if you're assuming the same attitude as your attorney by saying the police are out to get me. Because that's what I heard from Mr. Syed a couple times when he was making the argument. The police know me, they're out to get me.
I do think I should have made better judgment, but I do think that cop was very...
How he did his job that day was uncalled for in some ways. He just told me to get out of the car without even telling me what was going on twice, and then told me I didn't get out the car. He was going to take me out of the car. And I said, "For what though? I don't understand." And he said, "I had a warrant out." And that's when I proceeded to tell him, "I don't understand how I have a warrant out. I just took care of everything." And he had me in handcuffs. And I told him that I did have my medication in my bra. My Suboxone was in my bra too, that he never even cared to take out or have me take out. He just took the pill bottle right from my hands. I said Liam's medication is bro and my Suboxone. Never said anything about that being my pill bottle or not knowing. I said my Suboxone was in my bra.
Or had me take out, he just took the pill bottle right from my hands. I said Liam's medication in his bra and my Suboxone. Never said anything about that being my pill bottle or not knowing. I said my Suboxone was in my bra. I said Liam's medication is in my bra. And it's only because I care. I do that all the time. I put everything in my bra. And I don't want to have missing, stolen, or whatnot. And I guess that is probably not a good thing. I don't know. It's just honestly an old habit. And I will not do that habit anymore. Obviously, it was not a good idea. But no one ever said that medication was mine. I never told him the pill bottle was mine. So I don't know if that was definitely incorrect on what I heard. I told him my Suboxone was in my bra.
The officer had indications that you had a warrant for your arrest.
Yes.
You may have disagreed with that because
Yeah.
you think you had it resolved. The officer had to do what he did, right? Do you not understand that?
I understand it now.
I mean, it was indicated to him that there was a warrant for your arrest. Whether it's mistaken or not, in his system it showed a warrant for your arrest.
Yes.
And the officer did what he had to do. You may not have liked the way he handled it, but he had to take you into custody because there was a warrant.
Yes. Well, he never took, he just, like I said, that's handcuffing me.
That's taking you into custody, yeah.
Okay. I guess I thought that would be taken to jail. But, I don't think, my daughter was crying in the back seat and I said, "Can a family member come pick her up?" And his exact words was, "CPS is protocol to call." So I mean, there was a couple things that could have been handled differently in how he treated me. Now, am I saying he's not? He did his job, yes. He did his job. But I do feel like the other officer there was looking down at him also in how he was acting.
You know, this isn't a status hearing where we freely talk about things. Some of the things you're saying are troubling for me, hearing you say it. Troubling in the sense that when you're in recovery, and one of my huge pet peeves in this society is when
Judge, constantly. Ms. Luceroni, look at me and stop rolling your eyes. I'm not rolling my yeah. You're listening to me. I was not. Just listen to me. You're playing victim. You're playing victim. And until you surrender, if you wanted to come in here and say, "Look, I made a mistake. I am pleading guilty. Judge, I'm sorry." That's one thing. Instead, "Oh, I'm playing victim. Okay, I'll plead, but hear me out. Hear me out. I don't want to hear that. Maybe from someone else, but not from you. Who's received the benefit over the last year of intensive treatment? A team that has worked like hell for your recovery, that has walked with you hand in hand to ensure that your past history is in the rearview mirror. Truly in the rearview mirror, and that your future is one of absolute total sobriety and recovery.
Year of intensive treatment, a team that has worked like hell for your recovery, that has walked with you hand in hand to ensure that your past history is in the rearview mirror, truly in the rearview mirror, and that your future is one of absolute, total sobriety and recovery. And when I hear this attitude of playing victim, that's looking into your past. That's someone who says, I've been a victim in the past and I'm still a victim. And that's not, in my opinion, an attitude of someone who's truly looking forward in recovery. See where I'm coming from? 180 days jail suspended. She's on supervised probation 3 years. She is going to successfully continue her treatment. You're getting at Lark, right?
Yes.
Where else? Who's your mental health agency?
Signature Health.
Signature Health.
Community
Community Counseling Center. You're ordered to successfully continue your treatment at Lark Community Counseling Center, Signature Health. For substance abuse and mental health purposes, you're to comply with any recommended course of treatment and execute any necessary releases for our probation department, which they already have. To monitor, you're ordered not to purchase, possess, or consume any alcoholic beverage or drug of abuse or any suit-covering product of going to a bar or establishment for a period of 3 years. This is consecutive to all other sentences. I will impose a fine of $250 plus court costs. The defendant is advised of her right to appeal, without cost, of her right to have counsel appointed on appeal without cost, of her right to have documents necessary to file an appeal without cost, and of her right to have a notice of appeal timely filed on her behalf. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Okay. Anything further, Mr.
That was
Lewis?
a written dismissal.
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Sayaj, anything further?
Not this time around, thank you.
Okay, this matter is concluded. Thank you all very much.